Some might argue that we are going through unprecedented times as it relates to the world's economy. Banks have been collapsing, including huge banks like the Silicon Valley Bank, and now it looks like the US dollar is on a decline. Considering that the US dollar is, or used to be, the most powerful currency in the world, its collapse would definitely hit the world economy hard. But how exactly would that affect Shiba Inu? And how will it affect the SHI Stablecoin, which is still in development? Well, that's what we'll be talking about in today's video, so make sure to keep watching. Disclaimer. Getting right into it, analysts have noticed that the US dollar has been on a slow long-term decline. That is, the dollar might not exactly take a huge dump one day, but with the way things are going, the US dollar would have lost a huge chunk of its value sometime in the near future. Considering that the US is practically a superpower, a decline of its currency is probably not something that many thought would happen. But it definitely is, and it's not something that just started. Apparently, the value of the dollar has been dropping since as far back as the late 1970s. This was the period when inflation practically exploded in the US, and central banks all over the world lost some of their confidence in the currency and started reducing the amount of US dollars that they had in their reserve. Even when things got better for the US in the 1980s, these central banks were still wary. So from constituting 85% of global exchange reserve in the 1970s, the US dollar had dropped to about 46% of global reserves by the 1990s. During this time, banks and regular individuals sought other things to serve as a store of value, and many of them landed on gold. Gold became the hedge against the collapse of the dollar, and considering that the dollar is on a decline once again, I'm pretty sure that people would be searching for something else to hold on to. Gold might be one of those things, but so would cryptocurrency. This is becoming even more of a reality as a number of countries have made the decision to shift away from using the US dollar. China is at the core of this movement and has already struck a deal with a number of countries, including Brazil, to ditch the US dollar as a payment for services. What this means is that we might see the decline of the US speed up in the next few years, which could push people further into cryptocurrency. Already, many central banks around the world have been accumulating gold as a way to combat the decline of the dollar. The amount of gold that is contained in their reserves is slowly increasing and might soon overtake fiat currencies. It's either that, or we might start seeing the central banks gravitate towards cryptocurrency, seeing as it is not tied to any economy and should be free of whatever any country is going through. But it's not just about the central banks. Regular individuals whose trust in the banks and the economy has been declining would undoubtedly start looking into crypto as a safe haven. And SHIB is a very attractive choice right now. First off, the Shiba Inu ecosystem has been steadily expanding and growing, catching the attention of those who might have not known much about cryptocurrencies. I mean, imagine entering a restaurant to eat and seeing SHIB logos all over the place. As someone who doesn't know much about crypto or SHIB, you would definitely be curious, which is what has been happening. SHIB is everywhere now with its many solid projects, grabbing the attention of regular people. SHIB is everywhere now with its many solid projects, grabbing the attention of regular people. And with what is happening in the economy, it looks like all of these projects couldn't have come at a better time. More than all of that though, SHIB is a top cryptocurrency that is currently really affordable. SHIB is one of the top 20 cryptocurrencies by market cap, but doesn't cost up to 1 cent. So for anyone who is looking to get into crypto as a way to preserve their wealth and protect themselves against inflation, SHIB does look like one of the best, if not the best option right now. Wouldn't you agree? It also helps that SHIB has a significant presence in the traditional market. That is, many brands now accept SHIB as a method of payment, which could signal to people that SHIB is worth holding and hodling. After all, you can use SHIB to purchase a number of things ranging from food to houses. So more people would be more willing to get into SHIB, knowing that they can actually use the token in the real world. The bottom line of all that I have been saying is that while the decline of the US dollar would be devastating for the economy, it doesn't have to be. Cryptocurrency, and specifically SHIB, could come to the rescue if people allow it. And considering that this dollar decline doesn't seem to be reversing anytime soon, what with China and a number of other countries deciding not to trade with it anymore, it looks like we don't have a choice. And before moving next, here's an important message for people who like easy money. By following the first link in the description, you will get to my private group with the largest airdrops in the crypto space. You might wonder what all of that means. Well, you complete simple tasks like download an app and get rewarded with crypto tokens. Some of these tokens can skyrocket 100x, which might make your 5 minutes of spent time super valuable. Here we post the best and the most trusted airdrops. So if you have some free time and want to make easy money, then the first link in the description is for you. Now, if people actually decide that SHIB is their best choice, it would definitely be good for them because it means that they would be protecting their wealth regardless of what is happening in the economy. But bigger than that is the fact that those who are long-term hodlers of SHIB would benefit from the influx of new people for sure. The token might even get to finally hit that 1 cent mark, especially if all those new people commit to burning SHIB. That said, the new people do not necessarily need to commit to SHIB for us to see it get to the moon. But before we get into that, this channel has a daily giveaway of 100,000 SHIB. For a chance to participate in the giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment below #ShibaInu. Good luck! Typically, just the huge influx of people into the ecosystem would be enough to pump the price of the token. But more than that, and as you must recall, every single Shiba Inu project has been designed to burn SHIB. So just the fact that hundreds of thousands of people are interacting with these projects would increase burns, which would then pump the price of SHIB. And if this happens, we might see a new batch of people made millionaires or even billionaires by SHIB. What does this mean for you? Should you be considering getting into SHIB now before the rush happens? Well, that's a decision for you to make. This is not financial advice. Make sure to do your own research. If you found this really valuable, please drop a comment and share this video with friends. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, thus helping me to keep increasing the quality of the videos. One more thing before we call it a day here. The SHIB token is not the only Shiba Inu token that could benefit from a decline in the value of the US dollar. The other Shiba Inu tokens, Leash and Bone, would also benefit due to their roles in the Shiba Inu ecosystem. However, there's one Shiba Inu token that might actually suffer due to the decline of the US dollar, and that's the SHI Stablecoin, which is still being developed. Now, if you know anything about stablecoins, you know that people gravitate towards them because they are supposed to be less volatile than crypto. So those who want to get into crypto because it has no ties to any specific economy or government, but are worried about its wild volatility, typically invest in stablecoins. And the reason stablecoins are not as volatile as regular crypto is because they are pegged to fiscal currency, usually the dollar. This has been working well for stablecoins, but with the dollar in decline, stablecoins including SHI would decline in value as well. They would remain pegged to the dollar, which means that they would retain the value of the dollar, which might not be much compared to other currencies. That said, considering that SHI has not yet been launched, the Shiba Inu dev team still has the opportunity to change tactics. They don't need to scrap the launch of SHI, they just need to peg it to a more stable currency and will be good. If you could advise the Shiba Inu dev team on this, which fiscal currency would you suggest? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Finally, while many might have been worried and even slightly annoyed that the dev team teased SHI and still hasn't launched it yet, it looks like they have been justified. That delay means that they could get ahead of the curve if they play their cards right. We just have to trust that they'll do that. With that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then please like this video and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please share this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.